slight obsession with cow plants. You know I love a death trap in this game, and there's just something so fun about this cute little monster that eats people. And so I was thinking that today we could try to build a house completely inspired by cow plants. There's actually a surprising amount of cow plant stuff in The Sims 4. There's obviously the actual cow plant that can kill you, but there's cow plant movie posters, there's a mini cow plant, there's like little tiny ranch signs that have cow plants on them. So with the power of all of those things combined, I want to make a cow plant home. A long time ago, I actually made a cow plant wedding venue, and it was like a converted barn where two cow plants were getting married. And I kind of like that converted barn concept for the house, especially since now we actually have stuff to make a barn. This is the build that I'm talking about, and I built this so long ago that we didn't even have cottage living, we didn't have horse ranch. It actually doesn't even look that good. I was kind of going for like modern converted barn thing, but with this house, I kind of want to do something more rustic, mostly just because I want to use the barn doors from horse ranch. Barn doors and cow plants are kind of the whole inspiration here. I haven't really thought through how many bedrooms I want to have or anything like that. I'm kind of just gonna wing it on that front. All I know is that I want to use this door. This is gonna be like the main inspiration, and we'll base everything else kind of around this. I wasn't really planning on having it be so dark, but this door doesn't really have that many swatches. Does the other horse ranch stuff even come in a matching color? I guess it kind of does. It's gonna be fine. We'll figure it out. This is kind of what I was picturing for the main shape of the barn, just something kind of simple like this. I might have made it too long, we'll see. But then I thought we'd have like some sort of wing coming off the side this way. This might be a little bit too wide. Probably not that long, but just something like this tucked away on the side of the house. And then I was kind of picturing that we'd have something like that on the second floor on this side, just because then we can have some more windows. Oh no. Okay, make it smaller. I don't know if that's horrible or not. It's not good, but it's also not the worst thing ever. This might have to become like 2 bedrooms. We might split them in half like this or something. But that won't be so bad. We could have like 2 kids' bedrooms upstairs and then the primary bedroom downstairs. I also feel like if we're gonna make this into a farm, I should probably also put some stables or something. Maybe we could put like actual stables back here, and then we could put cow plants in them. Do the cow plants live in this house? Or do the owners of the house have cow plants? Because that actually kind of changes things. I'm feeling like maybe the owners of the house have cow plants, because that's a little bit more practical for you if you wanted to play in this house. And I would like for this to be practical and playable, I think. Should we close off these stables with a fence, or should it be open? I think I'm leaning towards leaving it open, just because then it might be a little bit easier to attract Sims to kill. I know that sounds bad, but that is our intention, so we have to think practically about this. Oh my god. I put some spandrels around it too. I feel like that really helps. I think once we've got the whole yard laid out, it'll be good. I also think once we have the yard a little bit more laid out, it'll be good. This part is kind of throwing me, so let me scoot this over. I was kind of picturing myself using something like this. I don't know if that's even the right color, but I was envisioning having this like entry. I guess maybe it'd be better if it was scooted over, huh? Because I guess then we can try and line it up a little bit more with the front of this dirt, and I can try and give us a cool windy path that takes you into the house. Okay, that might be fine. I may also want to scoot this whole thing back a little bit. I feel like we need to have this sign, because look at this. There's a cow plant sign for the front of the ranch. We also have a cow plant skull. I kind of forgot about that. And this mini cow plant. Now that we've got that all figured out, we can start putting windows on. I don't really know if I want to have this thing fully covered in windows. I'll have to figure out the floor plan, but I like how that looks for now. So I might start with that. I can't tell if this is even the right color. I guess I'll be using it anyway. I'm not really sure what I'm going for with this, but I also think that once we have some columns in and the house painted, it'll kind of come together a bit better. I think already the darker roof helps. I don't really know where else to put the windows, so I'm gonna think floor plan first. The stair location is gonna really determine what we do with this. I'm kind of trying to think this through real quick. This is a really tight floor plan, but I don't think that's bad. It does give us kind of a weird shape in this bedroom, but at least we managed to fit the 2 bedrooms plus a bathroom up here, and I can fix this so it's not clipping anymore too. To do that, you basically just have to wrap the roof completely around the wall. It means you need a few roof pieces, but it makes it look a lot better because you don't have those weird lines. I should probably move these windows again so that they're not cut in the middle. So we could do it like that. It still looks good from the outside, and then the inside's not bad. And then downstairs, I'm thinking that maybe it would be good to have like a little hallway right here. because we could kind of use this to make a bedroom and another bathroom. Imagine like a little half bathroom right there. This room gets an ensuite bathroom, or we can make that into an office, because maybe I could put the ensuite bathroom over here. That's weird and long and skinny, but it might not be the worst thing. Okay, actually, maybe the office is better over in this section. This is kind of weird, so just hear me out for a sec. I'm trying to think floor plan. Maybe we could have the kitchen kind of wrap around like this, because we can get a little island too. This becomes that office that I was just talking about. This might be a good place to tuck away a bookshelf. I don't know, we'll put something kind of cute in the little nook. Then we could do the living room sort of central to this, maybe something like that. And we can stick a small dining table back here. I don't really like the dining table like that. I don't think that's my favorite thing, but I don't really know what else to do about the staircase. I guess I could scoot it all over because that gives us some more room. Okay, this might not be the worst layout. I like how it's one big open area, and this bedroom is quite big, so that's probably a good thing. So it's 3 bedrooms in those spaces. Could be 4 if you count the office. Then we've got 3 bathrooms. Okay, I feel like that's pretty good. I think that these windows are gonna look so bad from the outside, but I'm just gonna deal with it and like cover them with some plants or something because I much prefer having them on the inside. I've been using this kind of light colored wood everywhere, so I guess I'll put that upstairs too. I can match the staircase to it as well. Oh no. These cabinets match really well to the windows that we're using, but at what cost? It's like the same color as the floor. This is a good opportunity to try and use like a cool flooring. We could always swap it. Maybe I could get like a nice brick floor or something in there. I kind of like how that looks. I think these people are probably rich, so I'm gonna give them some kind of expensive appliances. Oh no, I don't like any of the colors on these bar stools. I think the green might be good. Maybe we could try and have like some dark green accents in honor of the color of the cow plants or something. Horse Ranch does have a rug. I don't know if this rug is gonna look that good for our purposes. I guess this one might be okay. This is my favorite rug in like the whole game right now. I really, really like it. I know I just said dark green, but I think that's too much. So maybe I'll do brown there, and we could probably get green as an accent color. Like I could mix in some green on some accent chairs. Maybe just one. I'm not sure if that's bad because it's like the same kind of chair, just in a different color. How do those lights look? Is that weird on either side of that? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like we need to have this cowplant skull on top of the fireplace. It's not a want, it's a need. It looks so good right there. And then maybe I can use these windows again to center the dining table in front of. There are a couple of nice things. Like maybe this cabinet could be good in the kitchen. It does kind of like cut into your dining space. You know what? You kind of forget just how much good stuff there is in Horse Ranch. This is a genuinely really solid pack. It has so many items. Oh, the piano would have been cool. I made the house too small, sorry. I wish this came in a cowplant swatch. That's my dream. That would have been so nice. Oh, while I'm here, I should probably also get some water for the cowplants. I guess they don't really need to have like hay because they're cowplants and they eat people, but we can definitely give them water. I'm kind of trying to mix in different wood colors. I don't know if it's bad or not. And I guess the other big problem is that we're not gonna have a TV. There's no space for a TV. They unfortunately cannot fit one. That is my fault, but I don't know. I kind of feel like it's okay. Ooh. I was thinking about using the green chairs. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think that's gonna happen. Does this come in green? Oh, good. Okay, I'm trying to get some more of those green accents. I think I should also put this cowplant on display inside of the cabinet. I'll probably put a few of those around. And then the cowplant picture that I'm talking about, that's base game. It's like a movie poster. So I don't know if this is weird or not. We'll probably have to use this like maybe upstairs in the hallway. We're going for renovated barn with this, right? So I could probably use some kind of nice upgraded curtains in here. I'm gonna use the Desert Luxe Kit curtain rod, but the Modern Luxe Kit curtains. I feel like that actually looks really good right there. I'm trying to think about other places that we can incorporate the cowplant signage. I feel like above this fridge is kind of a good spot for it too. I'm gonna put a fruit cake on the counter. Oh, firewood, that's really cool. We should use that here in this living room. I'm trying to be careful to not overdo it with the kitchen clutter because I wanna make sure that you can still cook on the counters. I feel like the Home Chef Hustle tile in this color kind of matches a lot of the accents that we're using. I don't know if this is terrible or not, so hold on. I'm just wondering about putting these curtains up. Oh, that is terrible. Never mind. Okay, sorry everybody. False alarm there. Maybe I'll try this one. Not obsessed with brown. Oh, that works. Okay, I think I might be done furnishing the downstairs. I added some things like fireplace tools. I've got this plant and a couple other little bits of decor around this living room. I wanted to use the Horse Ranch wallpaper. I just don't know if it's gonna look really horrible or or not. This wood color matches the flooring perfectly. There's a lot of mismatched wood color going on in here. I don't know if that's horrible. I was kind of trying to make it look like it was on purpose. I think that we sort of achieved that. I made the bathrooms pretty simple. They're kind of the same color scheme. This one doesn't have a shower. I just used the fancy tub, but I think it was worth it because the tub looks cool. There is a shower in this upstairs bathroom and it kind of has like yeehaw energy because of the horseshoes. I've also decided just now that my Sims are gonna have a dog. So I'm putting a dog bowl right here. I could probably use a better one of the auto feeders. Yeah, that's better. That's an improvement. This room was gonna be an office and I'm kind of tempted to use the green desk. It's like a little bit too fancy though. Ooh, this rug is from the werewolves pack. That actually works really nicely. We do have a green bookshelf. It might be like a little bit too fancy, but if I use that, I could probably get my cowplant poster. I think I'm also gonna get a really expensive computer just because we don't have a TV. That computer's gonna end up serving as like everybody's way of getting their fun up, so it's probably good to have a nice one. I'm actually feeling kind of tempted to use some books from the Book Nook kit. I kind of like the idea of a little book stack in the corner right here. I love little tiny, small, tight rooms like this. I think this is the best room in the house so far. I know that the cow plant doesn't really match like this cow plant on the wall, but I actually don't mind. I kind of feel like it's worth it just because it's funny. I'm gonna furnish the primary bedroom now, and I'm gonna do that same trick that we had earlier with the curtains. Ooh, that kind of bothers me how it's in the corner like that. Yikes. Let's just ignore that part, okay? I want to use one of the two horse ranch beds. I'm not sure which one has the best, most cow plant seeming option. This one's not really green, so that's sad. Oh, that's so cute. It does have like this kind of tree color. This one comes in more of a dark green, which maybe matches better. Ooh, I think that's more the vibes that I'm going for. I think I might try and use this bed. Of course, it's the wrong wood color because why would that match? What I need is another like third wood color in this house, right? We just can't have it all. I'll make do with what I've got. This lamp is kind of glitchy. It always has been, but I think it works okay in here. Would it be so ridiculous to put a piano in the primary bedroom? I can acknowledge that yes, it probably is ridiculous, but I kind of want a piano and it doesn't really fit anywhere else. There's like a perfect nook for it right there. Okay, I'm now trying to put some clutter on top of this piano. I don't know if that looks bad either, but I think it's okay. And I feel like the whole downstairs is maybe, aside from like one or two more cow plant pictures, I think the downstairs is probably done. I want to work on the upstairs now. This hallway, unfortunately, probably can't handle much else in it because it's so small. The kids' bedrooms can though. As far as the kids' bedrooms go, I was kind of thinking, and this might be bad, I don't know if I'm doing like something silly, but I was kind of thinking about getting something like this. I like that cute little wallpaper, and then we can have some like sheep themes in here. Somebody asked me recently why I always put desks in my kids' rooms in The Sims. I didn't really have an answer to their question, but basically they were wondering why I do that when your Sims don't really need a desk because they can just like do their homework anywhere. There's no reason to have a desk unless you're trying to put a computer on it. I think the reasoning for me probably has to do with the fact that I think it's just nice that it takes up so much space. So I guess to an extent, it's kind of just a good way to fill up the room. But also, like I was saying earlier, this house doesn't have a TV, and TVs are a great way to get your Sims fun up. So if you don't have one, it's nice to have extra computers. I don't think that they can get to this blurfy. It's like purely decorative, but I'm not mad about that because I think it looks kind of cute. So this can be our sheep room. I'm gonna decorate this one more for a teen, and I think I'm gonna use that green color I've been liking. I'm thinking that this Sim is gonna be like seriously obsessed with cow plants. The other thing that we haven't used yet is from high school years. One of these posters is kind of like a cow plant tapestry. Oh, it's a llama. Oh, there we go. Oh my god. That's the cow plant tapestry. I'm gonna put a thermostat up here too, just in case. On this wall, I'm thinking I'll try and put a little poster and like a calendar and stuff next to the desk. I guess this Sim also gets a computer. I don't know. Maybe they have a cow plant though on display. You know, classic desk trinkets, a literal murderous monster, and like a pencil cup. Perfectly normal and reasonable stuff to have. I don't know if this chair matches anything at all in this room. It doesn't really, but I kind of want to use it anyway just because I love the egg chair shape. I'd like one of the ones that has lights on it, but they don't really match either. Maybe the plain white one is fine, and then we can just add in extra green stuff through other things. Or we could do no egg chair. I mean, I like the egg chair, but I'm not super attached to it. It might be better just to have some bookshelves and like some storage. We can also get a mirror this way, which is probably a nice touch for a teenager's bedroom. Okay, I'm trying to put some clutter on top of this bookshelf. First, I've got a little set of some planters mirrors. I've got some makeup, and then I also have some extra books. And I think that might be the whole interior of the house done. Now we just have the small task of doing the entire rest of the outside. So I was thinking about painting it with this like light wood color. So there's a combo of the dark wood and the light wood on the building. Then I'm gonna get some cow plants. I was thinking about putting 2 in here. I think when you size them down, it gets kind of messed up, but I like the idea of that one being like mom and baby. So I'll put that there. And then maybe I'll put one of these cow plants like towards the front, just so you can see it and it really sells it when you first walk up. Next order of business is to start putting some trees around on the lot. Oh, here's an idea. Maybe I'll swap this out and instead I'll put a little doorway right here. That does kind of mess up the bedroom, but my thought process is that maybe it'd be nice to have a little door to a back patio right outside of the bedroom, because I don't actually know where else the regular like normal backyard space would go. Part of me kind of wants to get a pool. I don't know if that's too much. I guess we are going for renovated barn, so they've probably upgraded and like put in a pool. This is actually a really big pool. It probably does not need to be that big. I wonder if any of those umbrellas come in green. Oh, this one's like a bright green. There's also that one. Okay, they're a little bit brighter than I thought they were going to be. I'm okay with that though. It's fun to have like a slight little lime green vibe outside. Okay, this is a slightly unnecessary addition. It also, oh, it's pink. I don't really want that. I'm just thinking it might be kind of fun to have some extra lights. I'm putting this cow plant in between the windows right there. And then we should probably get some sort of table. My first thought was to have a picnic table, but I guess we have some fancy chairs. So we could get a nicer table like this. Does the candle come in green? Oh my God, barely. Never mind. I'm getting myself a couple planter boxes like tucked in around this side too, so you can have a bit of a garden. Okay, this is really out there, but what if we put like horse jumps and stuff and we pretended that you could train the cow plants on them? Okay, listen, realistically, if people decide to use this house, they're gonna use it and then play with horses here. So putting in stuff that horses need is probably a good idea. Even though we are trying to make a cow plant build, it's probably smart to make a house that's functional for horses. It's always better for it to be multi-purpose. I can admit that. No horses, only cow plants. Okay, well this is the fun part now because we get to go through and do all the landscaping. I'm gonna start with some of these big bushes. I'm thinking I will use those in a lot of the corners. We can even put some kind of near to the front door too. And then I'm gonna use my favorite low-lying bushes from Horse Ranch, and I'm gonna use those to fill in like pretty much everywhere. I think that looks pretty good over here, like next to this little patio space too. And then I wanna get some little pieces of grass because I have some areas where I feel like it's too tight for me to put in much landscaping at all, but then we can just add some grass in so it still looks a little bit more finished over there. Even like in this area, just make it big. Just fill it everywhere. Or like in the front, I could get a bunch of grass in the front like this. I'm not planning on putting too many flowers in, but where I do put flowers, I'm kind of wanting to use these little low orange and red ones. I want to scoot this cow plant up like right next to the bushes in the front. I think it's on display. And then I'll probably get a mailbox. I don't know if they'll be able to get to that. I might have to put it closer to the front of the house, because if we stick that kind of like up here, they should be able to get into it. Oh, and a trash can. I do have a trash can inside, don't worry, but we could probably use a trash can outside too. There's a trash can right here. I got the thermostat. Oh, I don't have a fire alarm. I have been known to leave that out on purpose, but I think I'll put one today. I'm feeling generous. And now last, but certainly not least, we have to go do terrain paint on everything. So I'm gonna put some terrain paint underneath both of these things, and I might use that same color to make my little walkway to get up to the front of the house. And then I want to start layering with some other colors. So I'm going to use this darker dirt color underneath all of the house and underneath all the plants. I think this helps to give some dimension to the whole building. I also didn't put any flowers over here, so I'll get a couple. And then I'm going to use this same terrain paint, but like really light, and I'm going to paint along the edge because I'm kind of trying to give this some dimension to the sides. I'm going to do the same thing around the edges of these too. And I think that might be the full house complete. So it's pretty simple. It's just a small little converted barn. There's a few cow plants. There's quite a few pieces of cow plant decor. And it's actually decently big, I think, considering how small it looks. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll give you a little top-down tour of the finished product. We have like one half of the house for the living space. The other half is for bedrooms and bathrooms. And then upstairs we have a couple extra bedrooms. I'm gonna stick it on the gallery. Oh, Cantor Cottage? No, Cow Plant Cottage. It is officially uploaded if you want to download it. Thank you for for hanging out with me and watching me do this. I really had fun with this one. If you like Sims builds like this, I do a ton of them here on my YouTube channel. I'm like basically always building, so make sure you're subscribed. And if you missed it, we're doing a huge fundraiser over on my Twitch channel for the entire month of May to raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. I have some really fun plans for this weekend. Tonight, I'm doing a challenge where for every $1,000 we raise, I'm gonna add another infant to my household. I personally feel like 3 infants is too many, and last year we had like 20 when I did this. So you can imagine that there's a lot of pain and suffering coming my way later. I'll link my Twitch streams and also our fundraiser down below. And with that, I will stop rambling and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. I love that you can see the cow plants in the back, just kind of in the distance from that gallery photo. Like if you look a little bit more closely, that's not a normal stable. That's a cow plant stable.